morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the daily support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Thursday the 17th of September. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, it's a positive start to the morning. Can we see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 10,919 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 11,157. You need to see broad-based crypto rally through the day for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 11,105. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Bitcoin target the second major resistance level sitting at 11,342 before any pullback. Should see Bitcoin fall well short of 11,500 levels, however, which is the next key major resistance level. Fall through the pivot level, bring the first major support level sitting at 10,734 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 10,700 levels. Second major support level sits at 10,496. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bearish crossover there, suggestive of a bearish morning this morning with a widening of the bearish histogram. Looking at the EMAs, however, we've seen the 50 pull away from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a bullish day ahead. So key through the morning will be to avoid a fall through that pivot at 10,919 and to move back through to 11,000 levels to support further upward momentum. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, it's also a bullish start to the morning. Going to need to EOS avoid a fall through the pivot sitting at 2.6809 to support a run at the first major resistance level that's sitting at 2.7868. Going to need to see an extended rally through the morning for EOS to break out from yesterday's high. It was at 2.7547. Barring extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to pin EOS back from 2.8 levels. In the event of breakout, could see EOS target second major resistance level sitting at 2.8606 before any pullback. Fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 2.6071 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, EOS should avoid the second major support level sitting at 2.5012. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a widening of the bullish histograms, supportive of this early move, and we're seeing the 50 narrow the gap on the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a bullish day ahead. So a move through 2.75s and yesterday's high to then target that first major resistance level should bring 2.8 levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, bullish start to the morning here as well, tracking the broad market. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fall through the 38.2% fib at 367 and the pivot level at 364.53 to support a run at this first major resistance level sitting at 374.07. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's high at 373.37, however. So barring an extended rally through the day, that first major resistance level should pin Ethereum back. In the event of breakout, Ethereum could test resistance at 380 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 382.9. Fall through the 38.2% fib and pivot level at 364.53 would bring the first major support level, so at 355.7 into play. Barring a crypto meltdown, Ethereum should avoid sub 350s. Second major support level sits at 346.16. Looking at the MACD, we saw Ethereum avoid a bearish crossover and a widening of the bullish histogram in the first hour this morning, supportive of this upward momentum, and we're seeing the 50 EMA narrowing the gap marginally on the 100 and the 200, supportive of this upward move. So key through the morning, avoid a fallback through that 38.2% fib, move through that first major resistance level would bring 380s into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's a bullish start to the morning. Ripple's XRP's already broken through the first major support level sitting at 0.2538, bringing 0.26 levels into play. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through to sub 0.25s, however, to support further upward momentum. Barring an extended rally through the morning, resistance at 0.26 should cap any upside. A slide back through the pivot level, sitting at 0.2441, would bring the first major support level, sitting at 0.2372 into play. Barring a sell-off on the day, however, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.24s. Looking at the MACD, widening of the bullish histogram supportive of this early morning breakout, and we saw a bullish crossover of the 50 through the 100 and a narrowing of the gap on the 200, suggestive of a breakout day ahead. So, key through the morning, avoiding a fallback through to sub 0.25 should support a run at second major resistance level at 0.2607.